Good evening. First of all, I'm grateful that there's only 4 hours difference between London and New York. I think we should keep it that way. Anyway, first of all, congratulations to both Klaus, obviously, and Mutar, but more importantly, for sharing their wonderful examples. The hard hats, the community enrollment of women in factories has given us some great ideas that we already discussed today. And then the 5x20 program is a courageous commitment, and definitely, as Mutar rightfully said, a commitment that is needed for everybody. So thanks to James and Eileen as well for what the Catalyst organization is doing. We actually entered this for benchmarking reasons because we thought we really have a lot to do still. As Mutar rightfully says, the gap is actually getting bigger the higher you set the bar. And we thought by entering this Catalyst thorough study and benchmarking, we would find a lot more ideas, and obviously we're getting many of them. But we find ourselves also standing here, taking with great pride the recognition you've bestowed upon us, on all of the people in Unilever that work so hard for it. I think it's very clear that part of it is obviously our wonderful board members. We actually have 50% women, and one of them is here with his Anne Futz. Anne, stand up for a second. I'm embarrassing you. It's a great excuse for Europeans to kiss. We like that. Anyway, it's without any doubt, Klaus is telling me what's out here in America. Oh, I see. Anyway, it's very clear that you need strong leadership from everybody in the organization. You need clear targets. You need accountability. You need monitoring of what you do, and obviously we have all these things. But for us, the biggest transition really came when you fully understand throughout your organization that you cannot achieve your company's vision or mission without investing in women, or, as you've seen on this video, without creating a gender-balanced organization. You've heard many examples why that is the case. As a consumer goods company, we sell to about 2 billion consumers a day with our products, more than any other, and mainly in many of these emerging markets. 80% of those are actually women. We also know that countries that don't give equal chances never have a chance to move up the economic ladder as anybody else. For us, in a very competitive industry, being able to recruit the best and brightest, we simply want to go to 100% of the available workforce. And then, last but not least, much has been said about creativity and innovation that comes with diversity, obviously incredibly important in a fast-moving consumer goods company as well. But you understand all of this. But for us, the most important thing is to make our vision and mission come alive. We made a commitment which we call the Unilever Sustainable Living Plan, which very simply boils down to doubling our business. We see enormous opportunities, especially in the emerging markets, to grow our business. But we want to do it in a responsible way, which for us means totally decoupling it from environmental impact and improving its overall social impact. It's an audacious goal, and no company of our size or magnitude has made that, and we simply cannot do it alone. And it's very clear to us that issues that this world faces, 1 billion people going to bed hungry every night, not knowing if they wake up the next day, 2.5 billion people not having access to clean water or hygiene, or the simple fact that 2,000 children die every day of infectious diseases like diarrhea or pneumonia, many that can be simply solved with the act of hand washing, makes this a very challenging task. And for us it's absolutely key, if we want to solve these things, that increasingly women in every stage play an enormous role in this. We look at our commitment across the value chain. For us that means from sustainable sourcing to sustainable living. And in any piece of that chain, as we address these horrendous challenges to ensure a better future for all, actually involves women more than anybody else. Let me just explain. Take the issue of food security, for example, the 1 billion people that go to bed hungry. We've made a commitment in our business plan where we already employ more or less 2 million smallhold farmers to employ another 500,000. But interestingly, 40 people in this world are in agriculture. 85% of the people that go to bed hungry are in agriculture. And in many places in the world, like Africa, 50% of them are women. Yet often they don't have the access to financing access to training, access to tools and equipment. The US government estimates that if we would just invest in these women, the productivity of agriculture would already be 30% higher and actually lead to 150 million to 200 million fewer people going to bed hungry. That's why we invest in women. That's why we invest in women in agriculture. The other example is what you saw on the tape here, the Shakti ladies. We do need to distribute our products in all places in the world, many places still enormously rural. About 100,000 people in places like Africa, Pakistan, Bangladesh or India are actually the women that do that distribution, increasing their livelihood, giving chances for their children to go to school and improving their livelihoods. I actually met one of these Shakti ladies not long ago in India, and she had her daughter next to her. And as you normally do, you say, "What do you want your daughter to be?" And she looked at me with very great pride. A smile came on her face, and she said, "I want her to be a Shakti lady." And that is obviously the power of what we try to create. Now, it is very clear to me that the sheer size of the challenges that we need to solve require us to do things differently than we've done them until now. No doubt that our system has lifted many people out of poverty, but it's also clear that it has left many people behind. And any system where too many people are not participating or feel that they are left behind will ultimately be rejected. And that is what you currently see in society happening one way or another. In this country, you call it, "We are the other 99 with Occupy Wall Street." Somewhere else, you call it the Arab Spring. And so it goes around the world. I believe that these challenges can only be solved with some specific characteristics. And it happens that I believe that women are better gifted with these characteristics as men. The first one is authentic leadership built on a deeper sense of purpose. The second one is collaborative ways of working and networking, working together in partnership. And last but not least is to get out of this short-termism and take a little bit of a view of the longer term. It happens that all these women have these softer or optional skills, as someone calls them, that are absolutely fundamental in tomorrow's society. Someone wrote a book, The End of the Era of Men. I personally think that's a little bit exaggerated, but at least as long as I'm alive still. But I can definitely tell you it will be the era of women. There's no doubt, in my opinion, that we still have a lot to do. In all honesty, we're a little modest taking this award in the name of all of our wonderful 175,000 colleagues in the company, but we still have a long way to climb. But if I'm confident about a future that is better for all, including our children and grandchildren, it's because there are women like you that are going to help us solve it. Thank you very much.